everyone, it's Eva and Daniel here from PotatoLifeGaming, and right now we're playing the game Kritika. And with this new update that came out, they actually released some imprints, which were really hard to get. But Daniel and I finally got the full imprints for our main characters. He actually made a video for his DoomBlade showing all three, and this time we're going to make it for my cat, just so that you guys can kind of see what it's all about, as well as examples of what the skills look like before imprints and after imprints.
So I'm actually the one playing her character right now, and we're gonna go ahead and start off with the top row of imprints, which is the Mee-Ow set of imprints, and we're gonna show you guys in Training Ground. Alright, I guess we should start with the 1 out of 3 set. Basically, it just gives you a 10% crit damage buff whenever you use Catastrophe. We did try finding what Midnight Cat was, but I don't think we have that yet. Like, I don't know, maybe it's like a 70 skill or something, but the only thing that actually activates this, and I think it's the 3 out of 3 imprint set effect, is Catastrophe, which is this one.
I would say that this set is probably best for if you're not capped for crit damage. If your caps are pretty close, I don't see much of a point in using it.
Yeah.
Because that's its main focus.
But you can definitely see the buff appears right there. Crit damage increase. Okay, so let's take a look at the second bonus for this. Basically says reduces the cooldown of Deathclaw down to 4 seconds. So Deathclaw usually has an 8-second cooldown, but basically if you hit the enemy with Deathclaw, it's only a 4-second cooldown, which means you pretty much get like unlimited ultra breaks, essentially. Like, look how fast that cooldown is.
Alright, so let's talk about the third one for this one now. And it basically resets the cooldown of any skill over 15 seconds, but under 60 seconds cooldown when using Catastrophe.
Yep, and that basically means you can essentially unload all of your really heavy DPS skills, and then you use Catastrophe, and you have them all back. Then you get to do everything again. And it's pretty nice because I think you still have Blast Kick too, which also lowers cooldowns, and I think Blast Kick is affected by this too. So you can essentially reset your cooldown over and over. Do you see that?
Yeah, I think this will definitely be a lot better once they do release Midnight Cat as well, depending on the cooldown for that.
Yeah, because then you can essentially just keep unloading like all of your heavy DPS skills just over and over. But yeah, you can basically go through like a full rotation using all of your skills, including Blast Kick, and then save Catastrophe for last. And then after using Catastrophe, do it all over again. So it's pretty much like unlimited attacking. Other than that, that's pretty much what this imprint set does, so that's all for this one. Let's go ahead and switch over and check out the next one, which is, I think, one of the more popular ones for Cat, right?
Definitely, Lightning Cat.
Alright, so let's go ahead and remove these, and the second row is called One Punch Cat, which is the imprint that changes Lightning Cat. And I think Razor Claw too, right? Alright,
it changes both.
let's just check it out, yo. Okay, so I think before we show you this, I'm gonna go ahead and insert a clip of what Lightning Cat normally looks like, and then we're gonna come back and I'll show you what the imprinted version looks like. And that's the imprinted version. It's basically, it takes all of the 5 separate kicks and combines all of their damage into one very powerful kick. I don't know,
it's quite the difference.
It's really fun to use, honestly.
It just sucks when you miss it.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's the only downside.
Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the 2 out of 3 set bonus for this one.
It's pretty much the same thing with the Lightning Cat, except with Razor Claw. Instead of doing all the little shing-shings left and right and whatever, it kind of just puts it all into the last strike. So it's one quick attack instead of a bunch of them.
Okay, so I guess we'll do the same thing. I'll show you guys the regular version, and then I'll show you guys the imprinted version. Oh wow, that's actually really cool. I've actually never used this imprint set before. This is my first time using it. Wow, that's really cool.
It's so quick.
Oh, it still gives you iframes too, which is nice.
Yep.
Alright, so let's go ahead and look at the last set effect for this imprint set.
This
Okay.
is what makes these attacks so amazing. Basically, every 20 seconds that you don't use Lightning Cat, it gives a buff that increases its damage by 100% up to 500%. So 5 stacks if you're looking at the buffs at the bottom. And as for Razor Claw, it's every 40 seconds you'll see it increase by 100% up to a max of 300%. And then the buffs will go away, so they will reset after you use both skills. So you're gonna have to wait all over again.
Wow. That's OP though. But basically, say you spawn in, if you wait 120 seconds, 5 times the damage of a normal Lightning Cat, and it's in 1 strike, and 300% more, or I guess 3 times more damage of a regular Razor Claw.
Yeah, I would say this is definitely a good imprint for fights with pauses like Arena, where you can wait at the beginning because it's like a 5-minute fight that isn't actually 5 minutes, or for shorter fights where you can just use the kick and the enemies die.
Right,
Or
so
Razor Claw.
pretty much like Bella or something like that, you could just one-shot them. I guess now let's go ahead and test the damage differences of no stacks versus 5 stacks for each one. Alright, so here we have 5 stacks for Lightning Cat and 3 stacks for Razor Claw. So I'm gonna go ahead and punch him in the face. Alright, so that looked like 1.6 bill, didn't it?
Yeah, it's about right.
Yeah, alright. Now let's see what the regular damage is. Okay, yeah. 516 mil. So yeah, pretty much 1.5 billish is what you'd be looking at on average. Or like a little more than that.
Depending on your CR, obviously.
Yeah, obviously depending on the CR, but that's a ridiculous amount of damage. Okay, let's check Razor Claw now. Alright, so that was 234 mil it looked like? Versus 133 mil. So yeah, some pretty considerable increases in damage with this set. But yeah, I think that's really all there is to this set. It's mainly like giving Cat some ridiculous burst skills because she didn't really have anything besides Catastrophe. That's all there is to this one, so let's go ahead and go to town and we'll check out the last imprint set.
Alright, so let's remove these and go into the third imprint, which I have to say is probably my favorite one, especially since I have so much attack speed. Alright, so for having one out of the 3 set effects, it gives you a 1% damage buff when you use any skill under level 40 for a max of 10 stacks. So 10% damage buff for 30 seconds. It's basically from Blast Kick and under, it will give you the buff. And each buff is independent from each other, even though it seems like it's refreshing. You only get the damage boost for 30 seconds after each skill. It's just when the buffs overlap that you get more stacks.
Okay, so basically, if I were to get a bunch of stacks like this, and then I wait, let's go ahead and wait like 10 seconds. I'll fast forward this. Okay, so there's 10 seconds left on 3 stacks of buff, so I'm gonna go ahead and use 3 skills. So I have 6 stacks that say 30 seconds, and now the stack's already dropping to 5 and 4 and 3. So the buffs don't refresh each other, they just kind of overlap.
Alright, let's talk about the 2 out of 3 set, and it allows you to deliver a special additional attack after hitting an enemy with Cat's Kick. And they didn't really explain much of what that special attack is, but what they're trying to say is Cat Scratch, which is the skill where if you click right click, you can pretty much teleport to them, and that's basically the paw debuff.
Okay, so there's the paw debuff, you can see it. That's the special attack they're talking about. And basically, when you land Cat's Kick, you instantly get a Cat Scratch, like paw debuff, just from using Cat's Kick. Because usually you have to combo to get it. And boom. Instant paw debuff. Yeah, when you get a chain of 20 attacks, basically a 20-hit combo, that's when you get Cat Scratch normally. So, there's 20, Cat Scratch. But now you basically can get it instantly, just from using Cat Scratch. Which has such a low cooldown, like, you can literally just spam this. Like, it's ridiculous.
It's really nice too if you're fighting teleporting bosses like the 3rd boss in Abelard or the 2nd boss in the new Titan raid or dungeon, just because they teleport so much and you can always stay on them.
Yeah, pretty much land your Cat's Kick and then just go through using your regular skills that you use normally. And if they teleport, you can literally just right back to them.
Okay, so let's look at the 3 out of 3 effect, and it basically reduces the cooldown of Tail Chaser, Lightning Cat, Death Pounce, Shatterquake, and Furball by 1 second after using each Cat Scratch.
basically you can use all your own attacks. I think the lightning cat was included in there. So basically you use cat scratch, and the cooldown gets lowered. That's actually really OP.
Yeah, I tend to try and use the cat scratch whenever I can, like right after, right before cat kick gets off cooldown, just so that I can maximize the amount of cooldown reduction. Just a lot of us spamming the cat kick and cat. Gotta click a lot.
Wow, this is actually like insane.
Yeah, it's really nice if you like spamming. I'd say this is really good for really long fights, like if you're weaker or something and you tend to run out of skills if you have a lot of attack speed, which is my problem before Imprints came out.
Yeah, I could see
a lot of my skills used to get blacked out.
Yeah.
Even with Blast Kick.
Wow, with this, you can literally, like, you use Blast Kick at, like, last resort. You'd really need some, like, really high attack speed to, like, have all of your stuff be on cooldown and not have anything to use. But it's basically, like, you can just spam these skills, like, so ridiculously long. You pretty much never have everything on cooldown.
Alright, so I guess those are all the imprints. I feel like they're all very situational. Depending on what you're running, you can definitely change it up. You can even mix and match as well if you'd like. For example, sometimes I use one of the Lightning Cat imprints and 2 of the weak point imprints just because it's for Bella and I need some skills off cooldown, and it just makes some runs a lot faster in my opinion. But it's all very situational depending on your CR and everything, so it's just, all you have to do is play around and see what you like.
Well, I think my favorite imprint is weak point, just because it lets you spam attacks and just keep attacking like non-stop. But I do really want to try to get the One Punch Cat, because I think it looks the most, I don't know, it looks really fun to use. Like, I just really like using the kick, to be honest.
I like using that one for Titan, and then I like using the weak point one for Abelard.
Oh, okay.
It's just situational, depending on what you prefer.
Yeah.
Just because Abelard likes to teleport and be annoying sometimes.
And I actually hadn't heard anything really about this top row imprint, but like, to be honest, it actually looks like it'd be really useful, especially for like, I guess a fight that lasts, I guess, like a medium amount of time, because the middle row would be really good for really short fights because you just one-shot everything, and then this last row is just like unlimited attacking basically. But this one is like a nice medium ground, just because you know you get all your cooldowns back from using Catastrophe.
Alright, so those are all the imprints. Hopefully we explained it well to you guys and made you guys interested in it. Let me know down below if you guys play Cat and which imprint you guys like the most. And I guess we will see you guys later.
Goodbye.